Good morning, guys. Do you have any doubts in the previous class? Do you have any doubts in the previous class? We have covered static in the previous class. And all of you have understood static. Do you have any doubts in the static concept? Can you able to hear my voice? Please confirm. I hope my voice is clear. Lavanya, are you facing any issues? Any issues you are
No,
facing?
sir.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
sir.
See, in the previous class, we have seen the static. And how many of you have doubts, still doubt in the previous program, in the previous concept? How many of you have doubts in the previous concept, in the static? I have covered that static concept in that the last program. Do you have any doubts in the last program? Last program. Have you tried? All of you have tried or not?
We have tried, sir.
You got the output, proper output?
No, sir.
Why you did not get the proper output? Have you tried line by line? Have you traced line by line? Have you cross verified it? Should not give up. Still, how many of you have not done the previous program? Please tell me. Still, how many of you have not done the previous program? Do you have any doubts? Lavanya, are you using desktop?
No, sir.
You are joined from mobile.
Yes, sir.
Who is using laptop or desktop? So this was the program in the static concept. I don't know how many of you have completely traced this program. You just need to follow the flow. That's it. Please observe the flow. Whenever class U is loading, all the static members gets loaded to the memory. In case of static variables, Farman, please mute on your side. In case of static variables, it is going to load with their default values. It is going to load with their default values. Static int I and static int j are going to load with their default values zeros. Now, whenever initializing and executing from top to bottom, static int I is equal to test1. We are assigning the return value of test1 to the I. Now calling test1, come to the test1. What you will get the output? Test1 colon I colon current I value that is 0, comma current j value j colon 0. Fine. Now the most important thing we need to follow here, it is to keep track of the variable values. What is the I value? What is the J value? So that you don't get confusion. Now, I plus is equal to 3. See, it simply means that I is equal to I plus 3. Current I value 0. 0 plus 3, that is 3. Then J plus is equal to I. J is equal to J plus I. It simply means that J is equal to J plus I plus I. Current J value 0. Current J value 0. 0 plus current I value, it is 3. 0 plus 3. So J will be 3. We are calling main method by passing null as the argument. Calling main method by passing null as the argument. Come to the main method. Main colon current I value, that is 3. Now I is equal to I plus 9. So current I value 3 plus 9, 12. So I will be modifying to 12. Then J plus is equal to I. J is equal to J plus I. Current J value is what? 3. 3 plus 12. Current J value is 3. 3 plus 12. 15. Current J value. Now, main end colon I colon current I value 12, comma J colon current J value 15. Okay, fine. We have successfully executed the main method. Now come to the remaining statements of test 1. Test 1 again. Carefully observe. Test 1 again. I colon current I value, comma J colon current J value. Fine. Now what we are doing? I plus is equal to 4. It simply means I is equal to I plus 4. 12 plus 4, 16. Carefully observe. 12 plus 4, 16. J is equal to J plus I. Current J value 15 plus I value 16. You will get 31. Now return I. What is the current I value? Carefully observe. Current I value 16 plus J. 31 plus 5, 52. That 52 we are going to return to the I. So I value will be modifying to 52. Okay, fine. This statement got executed, initialized and executed successfully. Okay. Come to the next statement. Static into J is equal to test2. We are supplying the return value of test2 to the J. Come to the test2. Test2. Test2 current I value, that is 52, comma, current J value, that is 31. Now carefully observe. I is equal to I plus 6. 52 plus 6. 58. 52 plus 6. 58. I value will be 58. Then J is equal to J plus I. J is equal to J plus I. J is equal to J plus I. Current J value 31 plus I value 58. You will get 89. 89. So J value will be 89. Now we are calling main method by supplying null as the argument. Come to the main method. Main colon current I value. What is that? 58. Now I is equal to I plus 9. 58 plus 9. 67. 67. J is equal to J plus I. J is equal to J plus I. 89 plus 67. 156. Main end. I colon. Main end I colon. Current I value 67. J value 156. Come to the remaining statements of test2. Test2 again. Test2 again. Just print the current I value, comma current J value. Then I is equal to I plus 7. So you will get 74. 74. J is equal to J plus I. Current J value 156 plus 74. You will get 230. Now, what we are doing, current I value 74 plus J value 230 plus 8. We are returning 312 to the J. Now J will be modifying to 312, 312. Now, second static member also executed successfully. Now come to static, this one. Next static member. Now SIB, carefully observe. SIB colon I colon current I value, current I value 74, current J value, current J value 312. Then simply what we are doing, I is equal to I plus 1. It becomes what? 75. J is equal to J plus I. Current J value 312, current I value 75. You will get 387. Calling main method by supplying null as the argument. Come to the main method. Simply print main colon I value. Current I value 75. Then I is equal to I plus 9. I is equal to I plus 9. 75 plus 9. 84. 84. J is equal to J plus I. Current J value 387 plus I value 84. 471. J will be modifying to what? 471. Now, main end current I value, current I value 84, comma. There is no comma, it seems here. Yeah, comma is there, comma. J colon current J value 471. Fine, we have successfully executed the main method. Come to the remaining statements of the static block. SIB again. SIB again. So simply print current I value, that is 84, comma, J value 471. Okay, no problem. Then I is equal to I plus 2. What you will get? 86. Then J is equal to J plus I. Current J value 471 plus current I value 86. 557 you will get 557. 557. Okay, we have successfully executed all the static blocks. Now it's time to execute the main method. Come to the main method. Main colon current I value. What is the current I value? Okay, fine. That is 86. Then I is equal to I plus 9. 86 plus 9. 95. J is equal to J plus I. Current J value 557 plus I value 95. 652 you will get. Main end I value, that is 95. Current J value, that is 652. So cross verify this. So execution got over. We get this much of output. Cross verify this by executing this program. Cross verify this program. This much of output we will get. Verify the output. Fine. Have you understood the flow? Have you understood the flow or not? See, very simple. You just need to follow the flow. Next, we are going to start with non-static. 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 From here onwards, the exact object-oriented concept is going to start. Carefully observe this program. Observe this program. We have declared int I without a static keyword. We have declared int I without a static keyword. If you are declaring a variable without a static keyword inside the class context, this is the class context or class body or class area. If you are declaring a variable inside a class without a static keyword, if you are declaring a variable in the class context outside the main method without a static keyword, this type of variable we are going to call it as non-static variable. Non-static variable of class A. We are declaring int I without static keyword. Try to compile this program. What you will get? Copy the path. Observe the error. Non-static variable I cannot be referenced from a static context without a reference variable. Non-static variable I cannot be referenced from a static context without a reference variable. What does it mean? Non-static variable I, this is non-static variable I, cannot be referenced from a static context. This is the static context. Main method is a static. Non-static I cannot be referenced from a static context without a reference. Without using a reference, without using a reference, you cannot able to access this I in the static area. Main method also static. We are trying to access non-static I without a reference variable. Without a reference. Not possible. If it is static member, we can able to access. If it was static member, we would have access this I, because static members are loading whenever class is loading. Static members are loading whenever class is loading. But not the non-static members. Int I, it is non-static member, non-static variable. Come to the next. Void test. This is a non-static method. We have seen the method with the static. Now this is without a static. Non-static method. Non-static method test. In the main method, we are trying to access non-static method test. You will get the error. Non-static method test cannot be referenced from a static context. If it was static, we would have accessed straight away. We don't need anything. If you want to access the static method, within the same class, you can just go for the name of the method. Otherwise, if you want to access from the different class, you can able to go for class reference b.test, since it is static. But in this case, it is non-static. Test method is non-static. Non-static method test cannot be called from a static context without a reference variable. Compile this. Non-static method test cannot be referenced from a static context. Test is non-static. Come to the next. We don't have the main method, but syntactically, we should check whether syntactically this program is proper or not. Int I is non-static. Inside the static test method, we are trying to access non-static int I. Not possible. Non-static variable int I cannot be referenced from a static context. See, here test is the static. So inside the static method, we cannot able to access non-static members without a reference. Non-static variable I cannot be referenced from a static context. Come to the next. Test one is non-static. Test two is static. Inside the method test2, we cannot able to call test1 without a reference. Since test1 is non-static, you will get error at line number 9. Non-static members we cannot able to access without a reference variable. int I, it is non-static. This int I, we are trying to access within the SIB block. Within the static block, it is not possible. It's not possible since we are not accessing by using reference. If you want to access non-static members inside the static context, you must access by using a reference. You will get error at line number 6. For this also, you will get error. Non-static test 1 cannot be accessed from a static context, that is SIB block. Error at line number 8. Okay, fine. How we can able to access by using a reference? How do we get the reference? We can able to get the reference whenever we are creating the object. What is an object? Interview question. An object is a real-time entity. Object will be having states and behaviors. Objects will be having states and behaviors, or attributes and behaviors. States and attributes both are same. Now internally, how we can able to represent the object creation, that I will show you. Before that, observe the syntax. How we can able to create the object. Class name G. For the class G, we are going to create the object. Class G, reference variable. This reference variable can be anything. A valid identifier. This reference variable should be a valid identifier. It can be anything. G1 is equal to new is a keyword, as well as in Java it is operator, new operator. New operator. G1 is equal to new G. This is the reference creation. This is the object creation. Left hand side, reference creation. Right hand side, object creation. J with the parenthesis. This indicates that whenever creating the object of G class, it is going to call the no argument constructor of the current class. You will come to know what is a constructor. It is the next concept. Whenever we are creating the object, we must call any of the constructor. Now, in this case, it is calling default constructor. This is the constructor calling. You will come to know what is constructor. Reference creation, object creation. While creating object, we are invoking the constructor. Now internally, how we can able to represent this? Observe. G class. Consider this one is a G class. G class G. Consider this one is a class G. Then we are going to create a reference. This can be anything. This is the reference variable. Okay. Now, what we are doing? We are creating an object. We are creating an object of class G. New object for the class G. For the object, we are going to refer like this. Consider this one as an object of G class. New G. This newly created object we are assigning to G1 of G type. This newly created object we are assigning to G1 of G type. G1 is what? Reference. This G1 is pointing to G object. internally. This is how the object will be created. Now, this object will be created in which memory? This object will be created in the heap memory. Objects 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 will be created in the heap memory. Now carefully observe. We have created class G object. Whenever we are creating class G object, all the non-static members of class G are going to be loaded to the memory. Whenever we are creating the object for this class, all the non-static variables are going to load to the memory with their default values. We know what are all the default values. So according to those default values, all the non-static members will be loaded. Now we have only one non-static member, that is int I. Non-static member int I, it is going to load with the default value what? 0. That is the default value. Whenever we are creating the object, all the non-static members of a class are going to load. In case of non-static variables are going to load with their default values. Now, what I'm trying to do, by using reference, this is the reference variable. G1 is the reference variable. By using G1 reference, I'm trying to access I. G1 dot I. G1 dot I. G1 is pointing to an object of G class. Now this object contains the non-static member int I, and that int I value is 0, default value. So that default value will get as 0, default value. Zero. Come to the next. Observe this one. Why do we get error at line number 9? Test is the non-static. We know we cannot able to access this test without a reference. In the main method, we are creating an object for H class. H1 is equal to new H. We are going to create an object for H class. Whenever we are going to create the object for H class, all the non-static members gets loaded to the memory. Test is the non-static member of H class. It is going to load. Now we are going to call test method with the reference of H1. Syntactically proper. Syntactically proper. We must call by using a reference variable. So we are calling by using reference variable. Come to the next. Index. It is non-static. Static void test. This is static context. Inside the static method test, we are going to create an object for I class. We have created the object. Now all the non-static members gets loaded to the memory. Int x loaded with the default value 0. We are trying to access x by using reference RV. I class reference. Syntactically proper. We don't get any error. Inside the static method also, we can able to create an object. That means not only main method, in the user defined static method also, we can able to create the object. Come to the class J. Test one is the non-static. Test two is the static. We are creating an object for J class inside the test2 by using the reference. We are trying to access test1. Test1 is non-static. We must access by using a reference. We are accessing by using a reference. Yes. Syntactically proper. You cannot run because there is no main method. You cannot run because there is no main method. Inside the static block also, inside the SIB also, we can able to create an object. Possible. By using the reference only, we are trying to access the non-static member of K. Syntactically proper. Syntactically proper. Come to the next. We are calling non-static method test1 inside the SIB block by using a reference. How we got the reference? By creating an object for L class. L obj is equal to new L. By using the reference, we are calling non-static method test1. Syntactically proper. Come to the next. In the class M, non-static variable is int type. Come to the main method. We are going to create an object for M class. While creating an object for M class, non-static int I is going to load to the default value 0. So we will get 0 here. M1 dot I, you will get 0. Current value of I will be 0. We can also modify the value of non-static variable. Now M1 dot I, current value, it is 0. Now we are modifying it to 10. Here M1 dot I value will be 10, modified value. For one class, you can able to create any number of objects for one class. You can able to create any number of objects each time all the non-static members are going to load. Whenever we are creating an object for any class, each time all the non-static members are going to load. In case of non-static variables, they are going to load with their default values. Keep that in mind. Each time a fresh copy of all the non-static members are going to load. Each time whenever we are creating the object, a fresh copy of all the non-static members are going to load. For this program, you will get 0, then 10. Come to the n class. In the class n, we have only one non-static member, that is int I. Come to the main method. For the first time, we are going to create an object for n class. Whenever we are creating an object for n class, the non-static int I is going to load with the default value 0. The same will be printed. N1 dot I, 0 will be printed. Now we are going to create second object for the same class. Now carefully observe, this reference is different. This reference is different. This is the second object. Second object. Now this n2 is pointing to another object of n class. Whenever this object is creating, all the non-static members gets loaded. int I is going to load with the default value 0. This object got a copy of this int I, and this object is got a copy, different copy of this int I. Each time, whenever we are going to create an object, each time all the non-static members gets loaded to the memory. This object got a copy of all the non-static members. This object got a copy of all the non-static members. n2.i, you will get 0. Now, n1.i is 10. We are modifying it to 10. Earlier it was 0. n2.i, we are modifying it to 20. Earlier it was 0. Now, if you are trying to print n1.i, you will get 10. n2.i, 20. Initially 0, 0. Then you will get 10, 20. Come to the next. Class O. We are creating an object for O class. Next, we are creating a reference for O. It is just a reference of O type. O type O2. O type O2. Observe carefully what happens here. O class O1. O class O1. O class object. Then whenever loading, int I is going to load with the 0. Next, what we are doing, we are creating a reference, not the object, just a reference. O type of O2. What I'm supplying for O2? We are supplying O1. We are supplying O1 to the O2. Wherever O1 reference is pointing. Okay. Wherever, for which object O1 reference is pointing, for the same object, O2 also should point. O2 also should point like this. For which object O1 is pointing, for the same object O2 also should point. Sorry. Yeah. For which object O1 reference is pointing, for the same object O2 reference also should point, because we are supplying O1 to the O2. Now this object got two references. One is O1, another one is O2. One is O1, another one is O2. By using any of the reference, you can able to modify the content of this object by using O2 or O1. By using O1 or O2, by using any of the reference, you can able to modify the content of this object possible. Now O1 dot I, what we are modifying it to 10. Earlier it was 0, now it is 10. Modifying it to 10. Now carefully observe. Sorry. O1 dot I, we are modifying it to 10. Now try to print O2 dot I. You will get the same value, because O2 reference also pointing to the same object. We are trying to access I, current I value it is 10 only. So you'll get 10. Not 0, you'll get 10, because both the references are pointing to the same object. Now O2 dot I, it is 20. We are modifying it to 20. O2 is pointing to an object. The I value we are modifying to 20. Now, if you are trying to access O1 dot I, okay, O1 also pointing to the same object. I'm trying to access the I value. Current I value is 20. You will get 20 here. So initially, carefully observe. Initial values also I'll print. Initially 0, 0. Then O1 dot I, 10. If you're trying to access O2 dot I, you'll get the same value, because both the references are pointing to the same object, 10. Now O2 dot I modifying to 20. Okay. If you're trying to access O1 dot I, you will get the 20 only modified value, because O1 and O2 both are pointing to the same object. Zero, 0, 10, 20. Come to the next. Carefully observe. Come to the main method. See, there is no static, there is no static members to be executed. So straight away, we are trying to execute main. Whenever class P is loading these methods, these are also static members. No, they are going to load to the memory. Fine. To execute, we are not calling any static members without main. Sorry, without executing the before executing the main method. We are not calling any static members before executing the main method. So that's why whenever class P is loading, these two members, static members are loading. Fine. There is nothing to be executed. That means we are not calling other static members. So straight away come to the main method. There are no other static members to be executed. So straight away we are executing main. Come to the main. We are going to create an object for P class. This int I is going to load with the default value 0. Now main colon current I value, that is 0. P1 dot I current I value, you will get 0. Now P1 dot I, we are modifying it to 10. Earlier it was 0. Now we are modifying it to 10. Calling test method. Calling test method. Now this test method accepting one argument. Now this argument, what type? It is the reference type. Argument can be reference type. Now obj is the reference, P is the type. P type of reference variable obj. P type of reference variable obj. We are supplying P1. P1 is what? P1 is the reference variable for the object P. P1 is pointing to an object of P. That P1 we are supplying as an argument to the test method. We are supplying P1. So wherever P1 is pointing, for which object P1 is pointing, for the same object obj also will be pointing. Now this object got two references. P object got two references. P1 and obj. P1 and obj both are pointing to the same object. Fine. Now test colon obj dot I, you will get 0 only. Obj also pointing to the same object. Obj dot I, you will get 0. Sorry, not 0, it is 10. Because we have modified now. P1 dot I, we have modified it to 10. From 0 to 10. So test colon, you will get 10. main colon 0, test colon 10. Come to the next. Please send the output. Please send the output. Int I is a non-static. Come to the main method. We are going to create an object for q. Q1 dot I. We are assigning 10. We are creating a reference for Q. Reference variable name is Q2. We are supplying Q1 wherever Q1 is pointing. Wherever Q1 is pointing, for the same Q2 also should point. Wherever Q1 is pointing, for the same Q2 also should point. If you are trying to access Q2.I, you'll get 10. Now Q2.I we are modifying to 20. One more reference we are creating for the Q3. We are supplying Q2. Wherever Q2 is pointing, for which object Q2 is pointing, for the same object Q3 also should point. For the same object Q3 also should point. Now this Q object got 3 reference: Q1, Q2, Q3. Q1, Q2, Q3. If you are trying to modify the I value, all these references, see whatever the value you are modifying to I, that value is going to be reflecting to all the references, because all the references are pointing to the same object Q. So Q3.I 20, Q1.I 20. If you're trying to access Q2.I, that is also 20. So for the same object, 3 reference: Q1, Q2, Q3. Understood or not? Understood or
Yes,
not?
sir. We got it, sir.
Okay. Fine. Enough for today. So Lavanya, you will be having mock interviews. Mock interview when it is that maybe at 2 o'clock.
Okay, sir.
You'll be having mock interview, and tomorrow Farhan, please make time. Tomorrow you should attend. Fine. Okay, guys. Please practice all these things. We'll continue tomorrow.